That moment is the crack in the wall. And once you see it, the entire structure of Season 2 starts to shift. This isn't a theory about Steph being secretly evil. It's a theory about Steph being positioned years, possibly decades, before the bombs fell, by the most paranoid, calculating mind in Fallout's universe, Robert House. To understand why this theory holds weight, we have to start with something very simple that Fallout has always been brutally honest about. No one works at the Lucky 38 by accident. The Lucky 38 is not a casino. It's not even a headquarters. It's a fortress, a personal inner sanctum, and the physical manifestation of House's obsession with control. This is a man who trusted machines more than people, who ran predictive models centuries into the future, and who used body doubles because even proximity was a risk. The idea that anyone, especially someone as capable and observant as Steph, could be hired there without exhaustive vetting simply doesn't align with who House is. And that matters, because Steph didn't just pass the checks. She thrived, which raises the real question. What if House didn't discover Steph during the hiring process, but long before it? In Las Vegas, House tells Cooper Howard something deeply unsettling. He admits that, unknown to Vault-Tec, he had backdoor access to the visual feeds of T-45 power armor. That's how he saw the Deathclaw incident in Alaska. This isn't a throwaway flex. It's a declaration of scope. It tells us House wasn't just watching battlefields. He was watching systems, infrastructure, movement. If that surveillance was persistent, and everything we know about House suggests it was, then he would have had eyes far beyond U.S. borders, including Canadian territory. Including the moment an American soldier in T-45 armor threatened Steph and her mother before being blown apart. That kind of moment changes a person. Trauma doesn't just break people in Fallout, it forges them. And House, more than anyone, understood how to recognize potential shaped by trauma. He didn't eliminate threats when he could recruit them. He absorbed them. But here's where the theory sharpens. This doesn't mean Steph immediately worked for House. That's too simple. House's real strength was patience, observation, strategic tolerance. He didn't need loyalty on day one. He needed positioning. Steph being allowed into the Lucky 38 isn't proof of employment. It's proof of clearance. And that distinction matters because it reframes everything that comes after. House famously didn't care about nations or old loyalties. In Fallout New Vegas, he makes that clear repeatedly. He saw the NCR as customers, not partners. He saw the past as debris. What he offered was inevitability, a future so logically constructed that resistance felt pointless. And he had the speechcraft to sell it. Not through threats, but through vision. Steph fits that worldview perfectly. She's competent, calm under pressure, emotionally guarded but adaptable, ideologically flexible. She's not driven by nostalgia or corporate loyalty. She's driven by survival and leverage. That makes her exactly the kind of asset House would keep close, even if she didn't fully understand why at first. Which brings us to Vault 32. When Steph accesses the Overseer terminal, the show gives us just enough information to mislead casual viewers. We see inter-vault communications open successfully, but other directories remain locked. Research logs, software operations, personal logs. Fallout veterans immediately recognize this structure. High-security terminals often require multiple passwords. Vault 34 did it. Vault 101 did it. This isn't new mechanics. It's established language. Steph's frustration isn't about access being denied. It's about access being incomplete. She even asks Chet if he's good with computers. When he deflects to Norm, she pivots instantly, already thinking in terms of system architecture. This is someone who understands that permissions exist above her current clearance. And when she tries to contact another vault, she discovers communications are disabled, not by Vault-Tec failure, but by sabotage. That's important. Steph isn't blocked by incompetence. She's blocked by design, which makes Hank MacLean's keepsake suddenly impossible to ignore. The obvious assumption is that the keepsake is Vault-Tec technology, FEV data, experimental research. But Fallout thrives on misdirection, and the deeper cut is this. Vault terminals run on RobCo architecture. Termlink is RobCo's proprietary protocol. That means RobCo agents wouldn't need to hack Vault-Tec systems, they'd interface with them. If Hank possessed a RobCo contingency item, a holotape, a credential, a key, it wouldn't look dramatic. It would look mundane, exactly like a keepsake, and it would explain why Steph seems one password short of full control. This isn't about unlocking doors. It's about unlocking truth. Vault 32 itself still hasn't given up all its secrets. The terminal header references main entrance access, implying infrastructure beyond simple door controls. Fallout vaults often include escape routes or fail-safes for overseers, Vault 34 and Vault 101 being prime examples. But here's the key correction. This theory doesn't require Vault 32 to have a tunnel. It only requires Vault 32 to have unrevealed infrastructure. And narratively, that's undeniable. Fallout doesn't develop characters like Steph just to seal them into a dead end. She's written with wasteland survivability in mind, adaptable, strategic, unsentimental. Whether she escapes through an exit, a system override, or something far worse, Vault 32 is not her grave. Now we need to talk about the other half of this theory, the part that transforms it from speculative into disturbing. Hank MacLean was never truly loyal to Vault-Tec. In Season 2, Episode 1, Hank delivers a monologue that many viewers interpreted as desperation. It isn't. It's a progress report. He speaks to someone pre-war, someone tied to Las Vegas, someone obsessed with contingencies and brain-computer interfaces, someone with authority to offer promotions. That description doesn't fit Vault-Tec leadership. It fits Robert House. Hank references Vegas as old stomping grounds. He speaks the language of predictive survival models. He frames his work as finishing someone else's vision, and most importantly, he expects a response. He believes someone is listening. House doesn't respond because he can't. His biological body is dead. Victor confirms it. The backup systems are offline without cold fusion. But Hank doesn't know that. Or perhaps more terrifyingly, he doesn't care. His loyalty isn't to a living man, it's to an idea. And that reframes his final line. When this is all over, you will be begging me to help you. This doesn't mean House would literally beg. It means Hank believes he is indispensable, a successor, a human solution to a machine-driven empire that stalled without power. Not a Securitron replacement, but a contingency, which makes one coincidence stop being a coincidence at all. Steph and Hank first meet at the Lucky 38. That location isn't random, it's the intersection point. The place where Vault-Tec ambition and RobCo foresight collided. The place where allegiances could shift quietly, without witnesses. If Hank transitioned away from Vault-Tec loyalty anywhere, it would be there, under House's shadow. And then there's the line from the Season 2 finale teaser, the line that feels almost too on the nose to ignore. Like it or not, Mr. Howard, everyone works for me eventually. That line isn't just bravado. It's thesis. Fallout has always been about systems outliving people, and House was the man who tried to become the system itself. Steph and Hank don't need to be conscious villains to serve his legacy. They only need to act in ways that advance it. This theory doesn't claim House is pulling strings in real time. It claims he built a web so dense that even in death, people are still moving where he wanted them to go. And if that's true, then the biggest twist of Fallout Season 2 isn't who survives. It's who was never really free. Because in Robert House's world, loyalty isn't demanded. It's inevitable. The House always wins.